Counter punch boxing. Okay, let's get right into it. Canelo Alvarez has passed. You heard it right. Passed a hair follicle test. Okay, so he's innocent, right? I mean, case closed, right? No, not so fast, not so fast. Okay, look, now, I'm not out to prove Canelo is guilty, okay? I'm here to present the facts, and then you decide, you know? And actually, I'm glad that he did this. Now, today I'm going to show you a variety of products that you can pass a hair follicle test with. I'm going to show you studies. I'm going to give you, like, actual real-life case examples of people that have documented their journey, right? You know, where they're you know, going to test positive for marijuana, cocaine, whatever it may be, right? Opiates, that kind of thing, and they actually passed, you know, for a job interview or whatever it may be. YouTube is full of videos where people talk about this, and like I said, there's a ton of products out there, and you know, you got to look at things like, you know, your hair color, right? You know, the lighter hair color, you know, it gives you different results, okay? There's so many variables, like, you know, if you recently dyed your hair, like let's say Canelo, he has the red hair, right? If he dyed it before he took the test, and if he got his hair cut, well, that decreases the possibility for a positive outcome by 30%, maybe 40%. There's so many variables, okay? Now, it also depends on when they tested Canelo. Did they test for low amounts, medium, you know, or low levels, medium levels, or high levels? Because they basically can tweak the test, you know, to detect certain levels. So not only that, I mean, there's so many variables here. Okay, Clenbuterol, it's very hard to detect, okay? And look, everything I'm going to tell you today is 100% factual. I can back it up, and I'll back it up in the video, okay? I'm not just making stuff up here. You know, like Clenbuterol, like I said, very hard to detect, especially, you know, or especially if he used it in, you know, small amounts, right? Now, let's say Canelo was, you know, just new to it, right? Maybe he was on a different PED, because I truly believe Canelo has been on some type of steroid or PED, whatever, for quite some time now. The last, I'm gonna say 2 or 3 years, okay? But let's say he was, you know, just started taking Clenbuterol, and he got busted, you know, back in, what was it, February, okay, and then he gets tested. Well, again, it's hard to detect due to the 36-hour half-life. It's incredibly hard to detect in a hair follicle test, okay? And I know a lot of you guys were calling for a hair follicle test, but I didn't care. I mean, you never even heard me mention or even say those 2 words, hair follicle. Go back and watch my last 30 or 40 videos, and not one time did I even talk about it, because I know it's a bunch of bullshit. Okay, I have 2 friends, okay, 2 personal friends, and I'm not gonna expose them, but and I talked to them today, and I texted a 3rd one, okay, and I'll let you read our text message, and just to be fair. And 2 of my friends, one of them was a custody battle type thing. She was getting a divorce, and she smokes marijuana, right? And she likes to smoke weed, but she passed the hair follicle test, although she smoked on a daily basis, okay? Another friend of mine, he had a problem with taking like pain pills, you know, opiates, right? The same thing. For his probation officer, he passed, okay, a hair follicle test, a court-ordered hair follicle test. In both cases, they were court-ordered, and in both cases, they passed. And I'll show you how they passed in just a minute. Okay, now, and another thing, why now? Why did it take this long for Canelo to agree to a hair follicle test? I mean, wouldn't it have been better, right, more believable if it would have been days after? Like, let's say you pop dirty, right? You know, you Golden Boy, they get the notification. Tom Loeffler, they get the notification. That's how it happened on, I believe it was like February 17th. And just say, whoa, wait a minute, like on February 18th or 19th, I would have been at the lab, hair follicle test, you know, urine test, blood test, lie detector, you know, anything and everything to prove my innocence. I wouldn't just say, oh, contaminated beef, and then wait, you know, several months later, right, to go, oh, well, I'll take a hair follicle test now. Well, sure you will now. I mean, like I said, it's incredibly difficult to detect it, you know, even when you are taking it or shortly after you've taken it, okay? So, and I'm not saying that, you know, everyone can just do what they want and pass the test. No, I mean, you know, there's a lot of variables. Like I said, there's a lot that goes into it. So You know, right here, 1175. I mean, come on eBay. You know, there's so many products. But let me read what's going on real quick. Okay, it says right here. Now, I'm going to read you bits and pieces of an article from ESPN. It was a very insightful article. The video is going to be long today, guys. Sorry, there's no way to make it quick. Canelo is ready and willing and able to do whatever the commission asks. We're waiting to hear back from VADA on when he can start testing again. Now, that's another issue I had. You know, why isn't Canelo testing? You know, with the clean boxing program, right? Why did it take all of this? I mean, this is my point. Why now? I mean, he should have been doing this from day one, right? You know, I just don't understand, you know, someone at his level, why did it take all of this? I mean, all of this drama and media attention and everything we've gone through for him to go, okay, I'll finally do what I should have been doing, you know, all along. You know, I'll do it now. You know, so that doesn't add up to me. None of it adds up to me. Okay, Canelo is willing to pay for the program. He is willing to do whatever it takes to clear his name, including taking a lie detector test. Well, you know, I'll believe that when I see it. Okay, so now right here. Hang on, I want to read the good part here. Continued testing program, even though blah, blah. No, we don't care about that. Hang on, let me get to... Okay, they found traces of Clenbuterol in his system, and if he was using it to dope, there would probably still be enough in his system that it would show up in his hair. Okay, now this is what Golden Boy Promotion is what they're saying. Okay, we did the hair test to prove it was accidental. Canelo is telling the truth about the meat contamination, and he went far and beyond what he had to do by agreeing to have his hair tested, you know, so he can keep on fighting and prove his innocence. But like I said, this is what Golden Boy Promotion, they want you to believe. They're telling you, look, you know, he took a hair follicle test, you know, case is over, he's an innocent man. Well, again, why didn't he do it back then? You know, why isn't he enrolled in the clean boxing program? You know, why isn't he, whenever he was suspended by the commission, why didn't he? Why wasn't he, you know, obligated to take year-round testing at his expense? You know, or why didn't he volunteer for it? Why now? You know what I mean? It's just, it's crazy to me. It's like they want to do it now because he's probably clean now. You know, I mean, he'd be crazy if he was doping right now. But right here, from the beginning, Canelo has insisted that he accidentally ingested Clenbuterol from eating contaminated meat. Okay, now this is what ESPN had to say, Dan Raphael. That would appear to lend credibility to Alvarez's assertion that he was positive for trace amounts of Clenbuterol in random urine tests conducted by the voluntary or by VADA, okay, in his hometown of Guadalajara, Mexico, on February 17th and February 20th, because he consumed a small amount that was present in the meat. He ate as opposed to taking larger doses of the substance as part of doping program that would be more likely to, you know, to be the case. So you know, Dan Raphael is saying, well, hey, you know, the test is showing, the hair follicle test is showing that, you know, it could be, you know, it could be contaminated beef. Okay, but it also could be that he was tapering off. He was cycling off. I mean, you know, go back and look at the picograms, the original picograms, where he had like 10 times the amount. Okay, how can you test positive for Clenbuterol by eating contaminated beef and have 10 times the amount? Okay, so you know, I don't know. To me, it none of it adds up. Okay, none of it adds up. Right, I'm not going to read any of this stuff to you, but look, here's me texting a friend. We'll get into the rest of it. Okay, I said, hey, is it easy to pass a hair follicle test if you are dirty? Do you know anyone? Do you know anyone that's ever done it, or can it be done? This is my friend. We're going to leave him anonymous. He said it's possible, but not super easy from what I understand. I've heard of 1 or 2 people that were able to get past them, and a few that couldn't. Why do you ask? I need to text them back and tell them why I'm asking. But you know, this is from a normal everyday dude right here. Actually, he's a member of my group. Okay, this is a real dude I'm talking to, and he's telling you, yes, I know people that have passed. Okay, you know, there's videos out showing you. Let me get to the beginning of this. You know, talking about in all cases treated hair. Right here, he's talking about if you bleach your hair prior to a test, you know, the difference ranges from 40 to 60%. You know, so did Canelo dye his hair recently? Okay, and not only that, You know, did he cut his hair? There's so many variables, and I've heard all these boxing channels out here talking about it, you know, like they know what they're talking about, but they don't. I mean, after all the studying I've done, after all the homework I've done, I've realized that a lot of these people that talk on hair follicle testing, they really don't know what they're talking about. You know, you need to delve deep. You need to get in the trenches, like with these drug addicts and people like that, you know, get on these. Look, I've been to forums, like real actual forums where, you know, these like drug addicts are talking back and forth with each other, telling each other how to pass and, you know, what to do, what not to do, that kind of thing. So, you know, this is where they're talking about the hair color, dyeing your hair. We'll get past it, you know, that kind of thing. A Spanish study done in 1997 test hair samples collected from people who had bleached or colored their hair and had admitted similar drug use prior to the collection of samples. Okay, they're basically talking about, you know, people by this Spanish study. I was reading the article, how if they bleached or dyed their hair, you know, prior to a test, that they passed, although they were dirty. Now, this is a very common way right here. This Macujo, okay, Macujo method uses 4 components. Okay, you got the vinegar right here. Okay, and this is some kind of deep cleaning. I forget what it is. Aloe vera toxin and Tide. Okay, it sounds crazy, but both friends of mine that passed their court-ordered test, this is how they did it right here. Going to Walmart and spending $20, this is how they passed right here. Okay, so, you know, and it talks about here, you know, looking at you got the cuticle, the cortex, and you know, the lower part here. And when they're doing the hair follicle test, it depends, like what part of the hair are they testing for, things like that, you know. So there's so many I don't want to get into, there's so many variables, but right here, you know, this is common products you can use at home to pass. And I kind of, when I saw it, I didn't believe it. I was like, man, that just sounds like a bunch of nonsense, like that, you know, it probably won't work, or they'll know, you know, if they can detect these chemicals, they're going to know. But I watched YouTube videos, I mean, I read articles, I've talked to people in my own personal life, and this stuff actually works. Now, do I think that Canelo ran down to Walmart and got some Tide and some vinegar? Probably not. I don't know. I would think he would probably, you know, I think either they waited it out, you know, maybe dyed his hair, maybe cut his hair, maybe, you know, put on a masking agent, you know, that kind of thing. That's what I probably think happened. Okay, right here, hair detox shampoo, how to pass a hair drug test. This guy's talking about how his girlfriend passed. Apple cider vinegar hair detox, okay, how to pass a hair follicle test. How to pass a saliva, hair, urine drug test. I mean, these are all people that have done it, okay? This is, that again, that Macujo method tutorial, how to pass a hair follicle test, how to pass it, you know, this goes on and on and on. Hair follicle test, what you need to know. You know, this guy talks about it. This guy, an ex-narc, okay, he was a narc for the police, teaches you how to pass a drug test, and one of them being a hair follicle test. And I mean, like I said, it's all over YouTube. Documents or like little documentaries where people, you know, that they take drugs basically and they pass the test. So I'm just tired of hearing about how, you know, the hair follicle is like the end all be all to drug testing, because it's not. It's bullshit. I mean, it can be passed. I have personal, you know, friends in my life, like I've mentioned. There's this example after example after example all over YouTube and the internet. And this stuff here, this detox test pass, whatever, apparently is one of the better products on the market. $12. I mean, you can get this crap on eBay for $12. Okay, read the 2 reviews. Both reviews said it worked. Okay, so, you know, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't think Canelo ran down there and got vinegar and he's putting all kinds of crazy crap in his hair. But I don't know. It's like, I don't know if I can trust Golden Boy or not. I really don't know. That's my issue right now. I don't know. And people ask me, well, do you think he's innocent or guilty? And I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, to me, all the evidence, like, okay, if you were going to court, right, and you really don't have any hard facts here, it's a, what do they call it, where it's just like strictly evidence. I forget what they call that, where there's no science behind it, there's no DNA. It's oh god, I watch court hearings all the time. I can't think of it, but anyway, damn it, what is that word? You know what I'm talking about, where there's no like there's no hard proof. Okay, circumstantial evidence. Yes, circumstantial evidence. It all points towards Canelo being guilty. in my mind. Like I said, you know, he's in Mexico, and you look at the timeline, okay, and he would have cycled off just in time to begin testing for the Golovkin rematch. You look at that. You look at he's 10 times over, okay. Now the aftermath, to me, he's behaving like a guilty person. If you're innocent, you should have done all of this in the beginning. If someone accuses my ass of being on drugs and I'm innocent, man, I'm gonna flip out. I mean, I'm gonna be like running down to Kroger, getting a home drug test. I'm gonna go, here's my hair, here's my blood, here's everything. Let's go right. I'm gonna retest it. Let's do it again. You know, I wouldn't just get on, go to a little press conference like he did and just say, oh well, you know, it's contaminated beef. You know, so I mean, you understand what I'm saying? If you are truly innocent, why would you even mention beef? You would be doing everything you could to prove you're innocent, and you wouldn't wait several months. Okay, I mean, this is February, January, February, March, April, May. This is like nearly 4 months, okay, nearly 3.5, 4 months after he tested positive. Now he does a hair follicle, okay? You know, now he's doing all these things. Oh, now I'll take a lie detector test, which that'll never happen. It'll never happen. And who knows? I mean, maybe it would. They might pay the guy off. I mean, you just never know. Okay, so you know, I'm probably going to leave it at that. But you know, I've been getting flooded lately with, oh, I told you he was innocent. You know, no. Look, this hair follicle test, in my mind, it actually makes him look even more guilty. Okay, in my mind. Because he should have done it months ago, okay? And now, and not only that, you know, at this point, who cares, right? You know, Oscar said he's going to fight again in September, and what I'm thinking is going to happen, I'll tell you what I think is going to happen. I think he will fight again in September, but it's probably going to be a tune-up fight, and we probably won't get the Gennady Golovkin-Canelo rematch until 2019, because he's going to say, well, you know, I got to shake the ring rust off, that kind of thing. So, you know, man, this whole Canelo thing, like, I'm tired of it. I feel like, you know, he has ruined just a very, you know, unique time in boxing, right? You know, a special time to be alive in boxing type thing where, you know, this is like, you know, I don't know. I tell people all the time, for me, this is our, you know, four kings, you know, the Hagler Hearns, Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard. This is our era, okay, for the middleweight division, and Canelo has single-handedly ruined it. And I wish he could just admit what he did, right? Just admit, just say, yeah, you know, I screwed up. I took something that I shouldn't have taken. You know, I got caught. I'll take my punishment. Let's move on. You know, I wish he would just do that and cut the crap, you know. So, I don't know, guys. What do you think? Leave it below.